do you say there, my festive friends? Alright, so with Christmas just a few days away, I'm still in the giving mood. Now let's see. I gave the audience a top 10 list earlier this month, so maybe now I should give a shout out to yet another lesser known movie. In fact, how about one from just last year? Yeah, in 2024 this movie came out, The Best Christmas Pageant Ever, and I heard great things about it. Unfortunately, I never got around to seeing it. But I made a note for this year, we put it on in November, and what can I say?
I love you!
That's right! For me, this one is an instant Christmas classic. Also, it's apparently based on a children's book I'd never heard of, which was also adapted into a TV short back in 1983. Quick question for the audience, were any of you aware of this story before this movie came out? Let me know in the comments. This adaptation is directed by Dallas Jenkins, the guy who made The Chosen. And while it does lean into its Christian themes, I've no doubt that anyone could really enjoy it. To give you the basic plot, in the small, vaguely nostalgic town of Emmanuel, unknown state, USA, the local church puts on an annual Christmas pageant that the community loves and holds sacred. But this year, a group of brothers and sisters from the notorious Herdman family show up and demand to take all the major roles for themselves. Now, how best to describe the Herdman children?
The Herdmans are absolutely the worst kids in the history of the world.
Yeah, I guess that's one way to put it. These kids are bullies, they're troublemakers in school, they even smoke cigars. And okay, let me just say I love that little detail. Apparently it's in the book and they didn't shy away from it here, and I applaud them for it. It reminds me of classics like The Goonies and The Sandlot, with kids doing things that they shouldn't. But anyway, the Herdmans first show up to church just for the free snacks. But after hearing about the Christmas story, they get really invested, especially the eldest child, Imogene Herdman. She feels really drawn to the figure of Mary and insists her whole family get on board so they can play their roles properly. At first, all her siblings, the churchgoers, and we as the audience don't really get why she's so interested in playing a role in the pageant. But we find out later that, surprise surprise, the Herdmans don't have an ideal home life, and Imogene is just happy to be someone else, at least for one night. So it goes without saying that this one tugs at your heartstrings. But, lest you think it's totally unearned, I'll also tell you that the movie is surprisingly funny.
I will tell you what I told those condescending, hyper-controlling busybodies from church, that while Helen Armstrong might be surprised the sun rises every morning even though she's not there to supervise it, she is not the only woman in the world who can run a Christmas pageant.
You said all that?
Well, not all of it.
Any of it?
Never mind.
Yeah, that's Judy Greer and Pete Holmes as the main mom and dad. They're both great in almost everything, so no big surprise that they do well here. But a lot of the child actors are good too. I especially love this scene where the Herdmans hear the Christmas story for the first time.
With Mary, his espoused wife, being great with child.
Great with child. Pregnant, stupid.
They used to wrap their babies tightly in a big piece of fabric so they couldn't move around.
They tied him up and put him in a box. Where was child welfare?
It's great not only because it's funny, but also because we get a glimpse at how the Herdmans, while troublesome, still have some of that childhood innocence and wonder to them. Sometimes their mischief doesn't come from malice, but simple naivete. Shout out to those child actors, as well as the non-Herdman kids. Good stuff all around. Now, of course, these types of movies gotta have the snooty, stuck-up church moms who look down on the Herdmans. But one thing I like is that this movie doesn't end with any sort of comeuppance for them. I feel like normally, characters like this get some sort of crude justice. Perfect example would be the Jim Carrey Grinch, where the mayor ends up getting ridiculed and mocked.
No hard feelings.
But without going into spoilers, I'll just say that this one ends with everyone sort of reconciling and understanding the true meaning of Christmas. And that's really refreshing if you ask me. We don't need anyone to be the butt of a mean joke to feel good. Maybe we can all just learn that lesson of grace and kindness and bask in the goodness of Christmas together. All in all, it's a simple little story that really captures the spirit of the season in a way I haven't seen in a while. I know I've said before that childhood coming-of-age stories usually aren't my thing, but while this one may have that as a framing, it really feels like more to me. It's not just the children who grow and change throughout, it's everyone. And along the way, the movie does a great job of making you feel like a part of this little community, and like you got a chance to grow and change for the better with them. Now, you've heard me say that the best Christmas movies pull off that balance of humor and heartfelt. And honestly, I don't think I'm being hyperbolic when I say that this is one of the best in that regard. I mean, really, if we can go from this,
I want to be Mary, and Ralph wants to be Joe.
And the angel of the Lord?
Me!
To this,
Jesus was born for the Herdmans as much as he was for us.
within one movie and it doesn't feel forced, I'd say you've done your job pretty well. And you know, I think that blend of fun humor and genuine sentimentality is what Christmas is actually all about. We go out to see the lights, we might go to a Christmas show, but at the same time, we make the effort to connect with our families, and we're more inclined to give to the less fortunate. When I say this time of year brings out the best in us, I truly mean it in every way. We're happier, we're more thankful, we're more giving. We laugh at funny Christmas movies, but aren't we usually cuddled up with the ones we love while we're watching them? To me, the combination of those factors is what it's all about. And I've gotta say, I think the best Christmas pageant ever captures that dual nature better than a lot of Christmas movies. So I say check it out. And with that, I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Looking forward to seeing you in 2026. I've been Kenny Steps. Take it easy. And keep stepping into the movies.